First off, why the night practice?
Well, you know, we wanted to try to put a little bit of space between the last practice that we had and this one. I've never thought that it would be this cool, and our guys benefited from it tonight. It was one of those practices where, I mean, look at them running in right now. The energy level was high. It was a blessing to come out here. It was a good day of practice.
When do you really start to begin to instill Western Carolina?
We've already started. You know, we started a couple of days ago. We'll shift to them pretty much for the most part tomorrow in a big way, and for a few days, and then we'll get back to a few days of just competition camp, and then when we come back from Charlotte, we'll get locked and loaded.
Since the scrimmage, has anybody stood out at practice since the scrimmage?
No, I just think there's some confidence that was built in the scrimmage. I love the way some of our guys are playing. You know, Terrell didn't practice today. He had a little ankle injury, but he's fine. He'll be back tomorrow. And but we're getting a lot of confidence out of our number 2 quarterback position. He's coming on strong. We know what we put on tape before the scrimmage at that position. We think that position is pretty good for us. You can learn a lot because you very well could be playing with what you're playing with right now if you're not careful and not taking care of business the right way from being in the training room and doing what we're supposed to do. So we learned a lot about the guys that are behind them, but it's also a blessing when those guys do get back on the field. Some of the speed and strength we have at those positions, it's good for us.
I was interested in what you took away from the first scrimmage. Coach Mo says it's all about the tape. What did you see?
Well, I saw some guys make some plays. You know, I thought that some of our first team guys, as they are right now, made some football plays. We're looking to try to build some depth. So a lot of young guys got a lot of opportunity to play Saturday. And so we're looking to see guys and get them ready to play and see what kind of depth that we have. And we're trying to develop that.
It's an odd dynamic when you have the former defensive coordinator working on your staff as the defensive backs coach. How has that been a huge benefit for you, having Rick on the staff?
Well, the greatest thing is that he has an idea of the history of some of these guys. Sometimes when you get a new staff together, you spend sometimes the first year trying to learn the guys and who they are. You know, not to say that they will be the same, but you kind of get some history of them and kind of have an idea of where they've been on and off the field. So he's been a wealth of knowledge as far as that's concerned. And him, you know, understanding what we're doing and buying into what we're doing has been really good since day one. So it's been a benefit.
How tough is it to really take a lot about what you guys are going to look like the first 2 games, when you have such injuries on the defensive side of the ball? How much can you take away from that first scrimmage?
Well, you take a lot of it away because of the fact that eventually, you know, in this game, because it's physical and it's a tough league, a lot of guys are going to play. And so whether they play early or whether they play in the middle of the season, but everybody will get an opportunity to make a play or not make a play. So we take it as an opportunity to find depth, find guys who can play when given that opportunity. And so we look at it that way because it's always next man up. And so we have that kind of mentality. And if that's the case, when that happens, the next guy's got to step up and make a play.
But how much can you really take away from a scrimmage in which so many guys are banged up?
Well, you know, just because the front was banged up doesn't mean the secondary has to give up deep balls. You know, that upsets me. That, you know, we're averaging giving up 2 or 3 deep balls a day. We gave up 2 tonight in 1 period.
How much do you love this new role where you're not being asked to coordinate an entire defense, but you get to just focus on the defensive backs?
Well, you know, like I said, you know, I'm 68 years old. My career is coming to an end. I'm just tickled to death to be able to do what I've always loved the most, is coaching the defensive backs. And all I have to do is concentrate on the defensive backs and not worry about motivating the D-line and the linebackers and making sure everybody's on the same page, you know, as far as the staff goes. And I think Kenwick does a great job of keeping all the coaches on the same page. He does a great job with our players, you know, explaining to them what he expects at practice and how they have to work to get better. And, you know, I think he does some things as a coordinator better than I do.